Coach Julie, obviously now we're at the point that we were looking forward to getting to at the beginning of the season. The point that we all thought about before the team even got its name. Wednesday we're going into the first round of the W League playoffs. Talk a little bit about what it means to you and what it means to the girls to sort of have the fruits of your labor come to, show the hard work that you guys have been putting in this season.
Well, I think that, it's not been overly labor intensive. I think we've managed the schedule well. I think a lot of them really liked how the schedule was laid out with regards to training and having the other options that we have with our partners to be able to do other things outside of just the training piece, and they can do it together, they can do it on their own. So a lot of flexibility within the schedule. I think the hype of having a women's team that's been highly marketed, heavily supported here in the Greenville area, really drew a lot of the players' interest and a lot of players in, even if they didn't know about it. We called them and talked to them about it, or came up and just had coffee and just talked about what we're trying to do and provide to them. And I think that created a huge collaboration of the quality of the level that came into playing on this team.
There are a couple of girls that have been added to this roster later in the season who haven't gotten to experience, some of the things that the other girls have experienced. How exciting is it for them to be able to, just be thrown into the mix at such an exciting time in this part of the season?
Exciting enough to make them very nervous on the fields, but also an opportunity for them to break through at a higher level and to get them ready for what the next step involves in their playing careers at the college level. So inviting them in, filling in some spaces and some voids from players that have left and gone to college early. So it's really that building that block of foundation to bring in the younger players and bring in more youth, as well as players that haven't necessarily been in the limelight, that are starting to get more minutes and starting to become more comfortable with the level as they've trained throughout the summer, and to where now they can step on the field and they feel more ready than they were.
It's so big as a club to be able to host, the first round of these playoffs, and our inaugural season and the inaugural season of the USL W League. What does it mean to be able to play in front of your fans at home in such an important match?
Well, I think the local players who've been to a Greenville Triumph game, they've seen the hype of what the community's brought from just the men's side, and I think they're wanting to generate the same hype. And I think now that they've seen the energy and the support that's come from the community at our events, it just really, I think, motivates them. It's really exciting for them. It's kind of brought the love of the game back in a different way. Different type of pressure, but just one that has had a lot of spirit, a lot of energy, and a lot of ways for them to build different ways to build their confidence, play in front of their families. A lot of these kids have moved away to play in college. Their families don't get to see them as much, and here's another opportunity to captivate their talent in front of their friends and family. And I think that that's just been motivation in itself.
If there are any Liberty fans that haven't been able to make it to a regular season home match, what would you say to them?
They're missing out. The girls are so much fun, and they're great mentors on the team with the older players. And I think the young girls that are soccer fans out here in the upstate and the Greenville community, or just even Charlotte and the outside areas, I think these are going to be young women, young girls that play soccer that aspire to be great players can aspire to. And these are going to be names that they're going to see down the road at a much higher level.